Recently, the deadliest player, ClownPierce, has fought the best player, Marlow, for 100 matches straight. ClownPierce is well known for being an insanely high IQ PvPer. This guy has taken down literally thousands of players and has a lot of SMP experience, but Marlow has inhuman levels of accuracy. And the results of this fight were insane. 0 to 100 for Marlow. But how? How was the gap so massive? I ended up watching the full hour of the fight to figure it out. Obviously, I won't cover all 100 rounds in this video, just the most important ones where I can show what techniques Marlow uses to keep winning. So, let's break it down. So firstly, you need to know a little bit about what kit they were actually fighting with. UHC stands for Ultra Hardcore Mode. You get a shield, sword, axe, and also quite a few utilities. Now let's get into the first fight. So this was one of the first fights of Clown against Marlow. Marlow always starts with a golden apple. Clown sometimes does not, like here, and the result is that she very easily outtrades him on hearts. In situations when your opponent always gaffes, you should do the same. Unfortunately, in earlier fights, Clown still does not do this. The reason is likely because he wants to conserve his resources as much as possible. The problem is that Marlow can continue making him use more than just one gap, through pressuring him. She uses a plank to avoid his cobweb, having predicted he would do that, and continues to trade whilst she has the advantage. He tries to web, but she swerves out of the way. He does manage to eat a golden head though, and once again anticipating that he would try to cobweb her, she uses planks to jump over. Unfortunately here, Clown is just in a really bad position, so she continues to trade with him. They're both actually quite even on health here. She has a golden head, he has a golden apple though, so it takes longer. He cashes up and just starts critting him out. She's really good at using the shield, so she blocks a lot of his shots. We can learn that if you know you have a resource advantage, you should continue to be aggressive. So this time Clown also starts with a golden apple. Clown actually manages to disable her shield while his is still up, so she puts up 2 planks to form kind of a wall and then hits him from the side. She was also extremely fast with hotkeying, because why is Clown on fire? He manages to put himself out and they start to trade again. Unfortunately, Clown ends up in a bad position. Marlow oftentimes, while swinging her sword, will put a lava bucket down for him to take extra damage, and also have to spend time putting himself out so she can get some extra free hits. You can be creative and employ tactics in order to confuse your opponent. So this next fight was actually quite a long one. Both of them did really well. They both begin with a golden apple, so they're quite even. So they both begin to trade. Clown decides to heal at quite a bad time because she's still in range, and he traps her in a cobweb, but she escapes quickly in order to continue pressuring him, forcing him to use even more golden apples and drain as many resources as possible. They are quite even on health though now, and she pops the golden head. He also does, and once again she gives him no room to breathe. She's constantly critting him. He places the web down so that he can escape. He tries to get away with a web, and he kind of does. So he's running away, and then they begin to trade, but he still hasn't had much time to recover. He's only managing to use cobwebs as a means of escaping, and she just does not stop pursuing him. So he's forced to use yet another golden head, whereas she still has one, and she fully profited from that. So they're once again quite even on health, but because she has that golden head, she uses it, and she definitely has the advantage now. They use yet another golden apple. He could have stood a chance at this point, but she's just really good at sword PvP as well. And as he tries to eat a golden apple, it's a really not ideal time. She really won't let him catch a break. Like, she will just keep critting him. You need to get into a safe position before you start to heal. You can use cobwebs or even lava buckets. Otherwise, you'll just constantly be getting crit out. Clown probably gaps out of habit in the middle of a fight because he's used to SMP combat. It's good in that situation because your resources are not as limited. However, in this next fight, Clown does manage to get away several times. He uses his cobwebs really effectively. But Marlow is incredibly efficient and just keeps on trying to get out as soon as possible in order to continue to just keep on critting him. Despite his best efforts to try to shoot her to keep her back, she just uses her shield and just continues to pursue him. Once again, he did a very good job this game because he managed to trap her in a cobweb to get away several times. What Marlow does really is When she knows she has a resource advantage, she will keep on pressuring her opponent and exploit the fact that she has that resource advantage as much as possible. By continuously pursuing him aggressively, she can keep on draining those resources. So some fights, it's really just a battle of resources. Who can keep their resources the longest? Who can be more aggressive? So she ends up out-trading him. So in this next fight, we're gonna see that Marlow is just generally better at using the shield and sword, and she is very, very good at it. She gives him no room to breathe, really. Whereas she times it perfectly, he seems to be slightly too late or too early. Now in this last fight, let's review everything that we've learned. So firstly, Clown doesn't really eat a golden apple, but Marlow does. He disables her shield. They start to trade, but Marlow seems to get more hits in. He uses lava to get away and can heal safely. He also adds on cobwebs. Then he begins to trade with her again. They both stop to heal, and Marlow uses her oak plank trick to avoid his cobwebs. She begins to combo him against the wall, applying a lot of pressure. He tries to keep on getting away, but she continues pursuing him. She hits him while he's healing, and he webs her. They continue to trade, and she hotkeys really quickly. They're quite even on health, and then they back away to heal. She puts up a wall so he can't shoot her. Clown often just shoots from a distance in order to do extra damage, whereas Marlow would usually go in with a sword, which is a lot more deadly. He tries to heal, and she continues to pursue him. They begin to trade once again, and they're actually quite even. So Clown actually gets really, really close to killing her, because they're both on about 4 hearts. But instead of pursuing her, he just chooses to heal and shoot. But honestly, that was an opportunity that he could have taken and possibly killed her. This was one of the few times that he was close to killing her. They begin to trade, and she has a lot more hearts because she preserved her resources better. They start to trade again, and it's pretty close. They both back away to heal, but she pursues him quickly. She's extremely aggressive all the time, and you can notice that Clown is mostly just trying to back away from her 90% of the time. He is effectively getting away, but he is definitely drained of resources, whereas Marlow still has quite a few. So in the end, he eats his last golden apple, and Marlow ends up winning. They do their final trades, and then Marlow just kills him. Thank you for listening, and I hope that you enjoyed this PvP analysis breakdown. Please make sure to like and subscribe. See you next video!